Good morning, Miss Lisa. So today I wanted to share how to make watercolor paint at home. So it's a paint that you can have. I used a muffin tin for mine, and oops, I will show you that in a minute. Just to put the different colors into, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But so I want to show you the recipe, and if you need to pause the video to write it down, that's fine. It will do that. So this is our watercolor paint recipe. We're going to need 8 tablespoons, the big T is tablespoons, baking soda, which is just regular plain old baking soda that we use to cook with. 4 tablespoons of white vinegar, again just regular vinegar that you probably have at home. 1 teaspoon, the little t is teaspoon, of light corn syrup, so that's our corn syrup. And then 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, which is just cornstarch that we use at home. And then you're going to need a muffin tin and food coloring, so just regular old food coloring. So what the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the baking soda and the vinegar in a bowl. You're going to want to use a bowl that's bigger than what you think you need, because once we add the vinegar to the baking soda, it kind of bubbles, and we don't want it to bubble over. So I used this bowl just because I knew it was going to be big enough. I also started this whole process, I've already done it, but it has taken me about 30 minutes. I started with a wire whisk, which is fine up until the last step. So you can use a wire whisk to stir the baking soda and vinegar, or just a regular spoon, whichever you prefer. So once you get those things mixing, they're going to be pretty easy to mix. It's going to be pretty liquidy. And then we're going to add the corn syrup, and then that makes it even a little more liquidy. And this is the part where you're not going to be able to use your whisk anymore. If you're using a whisk, you're going to need a spoon for this part. So once you get your cornstarch in there, it's going to become very difficult to mix it together. It's going to seem very difficult. But if you work at it, and it takes a little bit of work, you can get it mixed together. And then you're going to have kind of a pasty, this is kind of what the consistency is. When you pick it up with a spoon, it's kind of solid. And then when you go to dump it, it's kind of liquid too. It's very weird stuff. Cornstarch is amazing. And if any of you have ever used it to make gravy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just poured the white, it's going to be white, and I just poured a little bit in each of the bottom of each one of my muffin tins. And you can see again, it's solid, seems solid when you pick it up, and then it kind of just falls off the spoon. And then I used my food coloring, blue, red, green, and yellow. So those are the 4 colors that usually come in a box of food coloring. And I added a little bit to each one. So this one is, I will pick it up so you can see it. Look at that. That's my blue. And again, it's going to seem very solid until you put and it's going to be hard to mix. You're going to have to work at it. I've been, like I said, it's taken me about a half an hour to get these colors to look as good as they do. And then I have green. So there's my green. And I also have some orange, which is red and yellow together to make the orange. I have just straight up yellow. I made quite a bit of the yellow, which I think is why I didn't use all 12 spots in my muffin tin, because I know kids really like the color yellow. And then I did some red. And you can see it's kind of pouring off pretty easily right now, but that's the food coloring. And once this all dries, that won't be happening anymore. And then I made some lighter, just didn't add as much red, so I have some pink. And then I have some dark green, in case the kids want to do trees or something. And then I tried to make purple, and I'm not thinking this is going to be purple. It might be. So we'll kind of have to explore what that one is once it dries. So then once you have all these in here, you just need to make sure that your color is the color that you want it. And like I said, it's going to take a little while to mix a lot of that in, because it isn't going to happen right away. So you kind of have to play with them or work at it a little bit, which is fine. And then once these are dry, I would let them dry overnight. If by tomorrow or the next day, if there's any liquid still on the top, I would just use a paper towel and kind of pat them dry. Or you can leave them, because the kids are going to put water on them anyway, so it really won't matter. So then they can just use a brush with some water, and I'm going to put water in these 3 empty holes that I have on my 12 muffin tin thing here. And they just need a brush and some paper. I would suggest using white paper. Dip the brush, rub it on whatever color you want, just like a regular watercolor paint set, and then make your picture. And I did leave one white, just in case they want to, I don't know, do clouds or something, if that's what they want to do. So there you have it. There's our different color. Whoops, that one just went into my orange. Different colors of paint, because mine are not quite dry yet. So I'm going to work on getting that out of there so my orange doesn't turn brown. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So have fun painting. Bye.